Karen, this is a very unique building, and in downtown Knoxville, if you don't see that basketball, there's something wrong with your eyes.
Absolutely. We're really proud of our building. We think it's beautiful, and the basketball is actually the largest basketball in the world, so we brag about that all the time.
We are at the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame.
We are, and this is an international museum. We honor women's basketball at every level around the world. Our mission is to honor the past, celebrate the present, and promote the future. And so our goal is just to live women's basketball every day.
How long has this been in operation?
The Hall of Fame opened in 1999. We just recently celebrated our 10th anniversary with our 2008 induction, and then we've had one since then, and we're preparing for our 2010.
Tell me about the inductions. They happen evidently yearly.
Yes, we have an annual induction where we induct 6 individuals that have made huge contributions to the game of women's basketball, and they happen, usually we try to have it the second weekend in June, so this year it'll be June 12th of 2010, and we have 6 great women who we're going to be inducting.
I would assume that you could put a building 10 times the size with all of the memorabilia and artifacts for women's basketball. Is there a committee that decides what goes up?
No, we just kind of make that decision as a staff. You're absolutely right. We have a ton of memorabilia and artifacts that we never have enough room to showcase. But we kind of just try and do what we can to do the game justice and to tell the story of the history. And we try and update our exhibits frequently to keep a fresh look for people who might be coming back. But there's great stories in women's basketball.
Okay, just for those my viewers, who aren't familiar with women's basketball, there isn't a women's basketball team in Tennessee, is there?
There might be. Yeah, they're pretty good.
Tell us about them.
The Tennessee Lady Vols obviously were one of the first collegiate programs that made it to the top, and they've stayed at that level throughout. They have won 8 national championships. That's the most of any. And when the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame was built in '99, they had just finished winning 3 in a row. So that is part of the reason why Knoxville was so excited about promoting the game. But since then, obviously, many other teams have made it to the top and competed against Tennessee. So we try to celebrate all teams across the country, but it's hard not to recognize the team that's right down the street.
Exactly. Now, do people ever call you and say, hey, I have something you might want to put in the museum?
Oh, very frequently. And a lot of times it's like, my grandmother played basketball, a long time ago, and she just passed away, and we have her jersey or stuff like that. So people are always calling with offering up donations, and like you said, we just don't have room for everything, but we try to take it so that we can preserve the history of the game, and just, like I said, do it justice. And
I noticed that some Hall of Fames and museums, they will have their standard exhibit, but then they will also have a revolving exhibit or changing exhibit. Do you have that?
We actually have a number of exhibits that change yearly. We do a lot with the present of the game. We want to celebrate the present. So we have a modern locker room where we change out the lockers each year to represent the 4 Final Four teams. We have a Ring of Honor display where we change out the jerseys each year to represent the high school and college All-Americans. And then, of course, we have our Hall of Honor where our inductees are, and we change that out every year to represent our newest class of inductees. So we're constantly making changes on those kinds of exhibits. And then, of course, the history of the game, those are more permanent exhibits.
Right. So if you've been here before, come back because there's something new.
Oh, absolutely. There's always something new to see.
I really like the architecture of the building. I don't know who designed it, but because there are more roundness of the building, and there's a round brick area and a basketball looking. So, I mean, everything is very connected.
Yeah, and I don't know if that was intentional or if it was just a coincidence, but you're right, it seems like there's basketballs everywhere. And our building is made with a rotunda in the front and a rotunda in the back. The back rotunda is where the giant Baden basketball is, and actually that rotunda is made to look like the hoop that the basketball is going through. So I don't know if it was intentional, but we have basketballs everywhere.
It's a great place to work.
Absolutely. It's a lot of fun.
Do you have a lot of groups that come in to utilize any of the building?
We do. We do a lot of special events, corporate events, proms, weddings. We have a beautiful building, so we use it for that in that instance. But then we also have a lot of education programs, timeout camps. We have teams that come through to do their end of the year banquets. So we always have people coming through just to see the hall and to use the building.
Anybody want more information? How can they get it?
They can go to our website. It's wbhof.com, or they can always call us, and our number is 865-633-9000.